demons haunt and fright. Everyone stands afraid to fight against the evil. But there are those that stand alone against the evil and the crones. Heroes willing to go the extra mile and end the evil with maximum style. When you need heroes to go deep, when you need heroes that never sleep, light us partners. When you know all hope is gone, when you need to right what's wrong, light us partners. Now evil will run and hide, as nothing but light now resides. Our heroes saving all the souls, their adventures now a tale of hope. When you need heroes to go deep, when you need heroes that never sleep, light us partners. When you know all hope is gone, when you need to right what's wrong, light us partners. Now evil will run and hide, as nothing but light now resides. Our heroes saving all the souls, their adventures now a tale of hope. When you need heroes to go deep, when you need heroes that never sleep, light us partners. When you know all hope is gone, when you need to right what's wrong, light us partners. Darkness better run and hide, with faith, fist and pride. Nothing can stop what is inside. Monsters better run, else they die. The heroes are on their way. If you're in the darkness, you will pay. When you need heroes to go deep, when you need heroes that never sleep, light us partners. When you know all hope is gone, when you need to right what's wrong, light us partners.
Welcome to the dungeon. Light us sparkers, Mr. Lathis says. We always have such good. Here's the problem. We get started. These guys start having these really good conversations, and I'm like, I want to participate. And all I can do is type.
Just nod your head appropriately.
They start talking about Andor, and I'm like, because I really like and well, there's a specific thing about these they're releasing them in groups of 3, which is really weird. So like tomorrow is another set of 3 episodes, and between each episode is a jump of a year or something like that. There's that sub. Thanks, Jeffrey.
I gotta support my own channel. If I don't,
right?
Who else will?
Well, and I think it comes down to too, especially with Andor, is it's like if you've watched Rogue One, you know how it ends. So
which sets Anaximander off, because we already know how Rogue One ends, so it's like a chain of how things end.
Yeah, I already know how it ends, so I don't care.
Like, to me, Rogue One was the last best Star Wars movie, in my opinion.
Offshoot, yeah.
Offshoot, yes.
I'm gonna keep interrupting the stream.
Hey, my wife just subbed. Spoiler: the Death Star blows up twice. Yeah, right.
Twice.
Wait, twice? What?
No, Rogue One actually is top tier Star Wars. Like, I don't get. There are some people who don't like it, and I understand their arguments. But like, it's the only Star Wars that shows rebels as what they are, which was terrorists against their government. And they weren't all good people. Like, Andor himself is kind of a piece of crap. Like, he is not a good person.
Well, that's like people that talk about how bad of a person Solo was after seeing Solo. It's like, well, no shit. There's a reason why Lando Calrissian hates him in Episode 5. Like, come on.
Han Solo was like not a good person either, you know. which even George Lucas said it is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, were there any good people in that universe then?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Luke was a wholly good person for the most part. Not I think what happened in the sequel movies was just general fear.
We just lost Mike.
We did.
What? I see him.
No, he's just frozen.
No, he's
he's
not
there.
frozen.
No,
Mike's
he's there.
moving.
he's-
Mike's moving.
Oh,
moved.
sorry, Mike.
Mike, you have to move every once in a while, or we're gonna think that your video's dead.
Good guy Palpatine created a lot of jobs.
Oh my God! How do I give Mr. Lathis a thumbs up in our chat
Right?
there? Oh my God!
The only
Yeah.
true good character in the entire franchise, though, like good alignment, is Jar Jar.
You are going to
He
die.
single-handedly
I mean,
handed the freaking.
He basically created the
about
empire.
universe
Like,
we can say anything about that whole universe is that if we try to advance a story, it turns into utter trash. So let's just keep going back to when it was good.
well, I always have hope as a diehard fan, though. Like I'm pretty realistic about my Star Wars. There's definitely Star Wars I do not like. So, Book of Boba Fett, looking at you.
You mean Mandalorian Part 2?
Yeah, season 1.5.
Electric.
Yeah.
Acolyte, looking at you.
Halfway through the season, they were like, "Let's
Wait, you
just
didn't
make
like
this about Mando."
Acolyte?
Acolyte was trash.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness!
yeah, we can have that
Twins that
conversation.
are born in the Force. Like, I mean, where did they come up with that brand new idea? Twins born in the Force. Like,
Yeah, Night Sisters that aren't Night Sisters, sets that look like a high school production. It was pretty great all the way through, considering the budget they had.
A
It was
whole
a
stone
film.
temple burned to the ground.
Chewy,
it was.
can you kill Martin? Chewy, bad take. Yeah, I just I did not Balin, I just did not care for Acolyte for several things. I'm a pretty deep lore nerd, and I'm not one of these people that are like, oh, the EU and all that stuff. No, because I understand that went away, and it needed to because it was a wreck. But like, yeah, first live action Bleeding of a Crystal. Yeah, that was good. I liked that. I was hoping we'd get to see some of that in like Ahsoka or something like that, because she was the first one to like talk about it in one of the books. But I always the book envisioned it a little different than what that one did. Oh, we got a hype train. All right. Woo, woo. I don't even have a sound. Someday I'll get a sound for that. I got a gun that I can shoot. That's
Close
about it.
enough.
So before we get into the dungeon here, what have you guys been up to? And anything cool?
Viking
I mean-
Festival yesterday in
Okay.
Asheville, Ohio. That was pretty good.
I'm in
Ooh,
Michigan, and
Asheville.
I saw the sun. It was a
Whoa.
remarkable
That's
thing up here. Yeah,
A 3-time
That's
a year
something.
event, yeah.
yeah. You know, it happens for about 2 weeks in total throughout the year.
Yeah. I know me and Gwenton have been playing some Repo, which gets really chaotic on it's always funny when we play that, because usually Justinian or an Axmander hops in the channel and they're like, what does this have to do with repossession?
Yeah, just go get an officer of the law to come accompany you. You don't have to worry about anything. You can
Wait, have
level
you
up
played
your
it yet?
repo officer. No, I just saw Repo, and I'm like, why are they playing a repo simulator? I mean,
And
Honestly,
what's
it-
funny is I hopped in on Wednesday and they were just moving furniture around. I'm like, okay, so it is a repossession game. All right.
It kind of
Yeah.
is like, I think Jeremy sent me the best little Instagram video of like Family Guy where they're moving the couch out of the pit. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
from the
that
Star
is
Wars.
it is freaking, that is Repo. Like, turn to the left. No, rotate it. Push it. It's
Pivot.
it's pretty good. But like, so this week, outside of that, my life got obsessed with this Expedition 33 game that released on Game Pass. It's been getting great accolades.
it looks phenomenal.
Dude,
I watched dude play it.
Yeah. I
for
know
like 3 hours.
I know an Axamander, like, dude, you would like, this is a game you would go into. It's turn-based.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
has
Mm-hmm.
it has a parry dodge mechanics for when things attack. So like you got to
Yeah.
time them right, and if you time them right, things happen. But the story from the freaking beginning,
It looks good.
I like my
Yeah.
from the first 15 minutes, my jaw just falls open like, oh, this is a new idea. And it's
Huh.
all
Mhm.
it's all like French, in a French theme.
It's also
Wi-
only
wi-
like $50.
yeah, or Game Pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And from the emotions that they hit, to the gameplay, to the humor, there's some humor in there. Like, it's been a long time since I've played a game and I've actually laughed. I've seen attempts at jokes and you're just like, okay. I like was actually laughing playing this game because of some interaction between some of the characters. Wow. And zero punches pulled, but like there's like overland exploration. It reminded me of old school Dragon Warrior is what it feels like. Cause like you run into the enemies to start combat and all that stuff. Like, whew, this is a game everyone should play. Yeah, Expedition 33 Claire Obscura is it's a really long, the full name is like Claire Obscura Expedition 33, but I'm the first part, whatever.
I was voting against Dude at one point in time when he was playing on Thursday, Friday. He was talking shit about something. I'm like, I hope it wrecks your ass.
Oh,
Now that
that's-
that brings up something like that I've come to terms with, and I don't care. People can make fun of me and they can troll me and whatever. I play these games on story mode. I don't have the reactionary
too.
time. There goes the end of the hype train, or more to the hype train. It's more to the
more
hype
to the hype train. Go annex.
I don't have the muscle memory anymore to do these split second dodges and parries. So I got to do story mode.
Yep.
If it hits me, it needs to be forgiving. Cause like,
Yep.
I tried on normal. I did. I started on normal and there was like this mini boss thing and I tried 15 times for about an hour and I could not kill this thing. And I'm like, I'm done. Like, I want to see the story. I want to enjoy the game.
Yep. Ain't got time for that.
No, exactly. Like I was just like, that. Just let me play the game. I'm
you're
not a
not a-
Souls. I don't like Souls-like games.
Yes, I was just gonna say, so you don't like Dark Souls?
I couldn't do it. I would
Yeah,
rage
that's
so
yeah. I
hard.
just don't participate in it. I already know what it is. I've heard good things about the story, but I don't have the time to sit there and beat my head against the wall.
For those that enjoy them, amazing. I'm glad you enjoy them.
Mhm.
But yeah. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Marzen, any hiking, any adventures?
No, it was good. Was going to go on a hike this past weekend, but New England's deciding to do this fun thing that it tends to do, where it is just miserable and downpouring on the weekend, and then 75 and sunny during the week.
Oh, Ohio does that
Well,
too.
we've
It's
had
pretty great.
rain,
Yeah,
downpour rain, and it being 75. So, you know, the sun's looking at you as you're getting wet.
Yeah. I've had to mow again this weekend. I hate mowing, and it's the third time already. So I guess we're in mowing season. So,
Yeah.
but I did go fly a kite this weekend.
Whoa.
I was mowing the yard. It was super nice out, but I noticed when I was mowing, that it was a little bit windy, and I thought this would be a beautiful day to fly a kite. So I went digging through the garage and found one that was unopened from God knows when, and opened it up, put it together, and got the kite up in the air, and got excited because I still enjoy flying a kite. Had my youngest come out, and she flew it for about 5 minutes and was like, "Yeah, this is boring."
You need to fly it during a thunderstorm.
Yeah. But like the whole neighborhood kids like came over and were coming into the yard wanting to fly kites, got their kites out. Like I started a whole thing. I'm like, this is harder than it looks.
I don't remember the last time I've owned a kite.
It's so fun, but like when you're trying to fly a kite like in a city situation, the houses block a lot of the wind, so you got to get it up above the houses before it'll stay up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an easy task all the time.
I mean, did anyone else just jump into like, Mary Poppins, let's go fly a kite kind of
Yeah.
thing? Or is that just me?
Just a spoonful of sugar.
Just want to start breaking out into song. It's gonna be great.
It helps the medicine go down.
That
Yep,
is
yep,
another
yep.
movie
Different
I've
song,
never
but that's
I've
all.
never watched.
Wow.
Yeah, I love musicals. They're great.
Sequel's better than the original.
There are
I
very
still
few
haven't watched
musicals
the
I
second
like.
one.
Very few. I like was that one with Tom Cruise, the musical, the Rock one, Rock of Ages.
Oh, Rock of Ages.
Freaking
Ages.
love that movie, man. It's so good.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's still my favorite.
I
don't care what
I think
guys
you
say.
just hit the point right there, and we'll get started here in a second. But like growing up very conservative, like Disney at the time was considered the good stuff to watch that was okay to watch. So like Disney movies, the freaking like Herbie movies, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, all this crap, I hated all of it. And it was just like, let's watch this. This is a good, wholesome film. And I'm like,
Broomsticks.
Bedknobs and
I could
Broomsticks,
watch
you seem
it
like the
right
kind in
now.
X.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
seem like
Hey, there was nothing wrong with Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
then they made me watch like, hey, let's watch this Disney movie, Darby O'Gill and the Little People, and it terrified me the rest of my freaking life. If you've never watched Darby O'Gill, there's something freaking weird about the Banshee in that movie that adults have a problem with. Like it's messed up. Still to this day, I can still hear it in my head.
Let's get the leprechaun drunk. Steal his gold.
Right? What is this? Open the hype chest? Jeez.
The hype chest.
the hype chest.
Well, I will say this. The Last of Us Season 2, I decided I was going to play the game again. And guess what? I get to the swap over, and I'm still not happy with the swap over. Doesn't matter that I've beaten the game already, and now I'm playing it on New Game Plus. I can't feel sorry for Abby, period. And I don't like the fact that you have to play as her.
Who the hell's Abby?
Have you
Yeah.
never played the game?
No.
I never made it past the clickers in the first one.
It's only on PlayStation, right?
No, it's on PC now, I thought.
I think
Is
it's
it?
on PC now. I don't.
Is Abby the Lost DLC lady?
She's only in the second
No.
game.
She's only in the second game.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. I can't really. We can't really.
$60?
Well, they just keep
Well, they-
remaster, man. It's like Skyrim.
You on PlayStation, you can now buy the Last of Us collection for like $100. That comes with Part 1 and Part 2 remastered, which I guess saves like $10.
They're still
Free
charging
time.
$40 for Skyrim?
Oh yeah,
dude.
Because it's good. You
That's
can
the
still play-
best game ever.
It
It's
is
still
good.
it's still a good game. Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
shake your head no all
they
you
just
want, Dresden,
remastered
but
Oblivion, and I'm tempted to
can't
go
give that
check
game
it
up.
out.
Do I actually have Steam on?
I
or,
own
sorry,
a game
Skyrim on
system.
Steam?
for that game alone.
Never played it.
Oh,
See,
I just
so you
searched.
can't shake your head no. You've never played it.
No, I
Maybe
don't.
I'll
I
play
don't.
Skyrim again.
I don't like Bethesda games. I don't like games where you can pick up everything in the world and have to manage the freaking inventory. Oh, I gotta
Oh,
drop
it's
these.
great.
Just a
I wanna be able to
console
interact
command
with
will solve
everything.
that right away. Like just change my weight to like 1,000,000, and I don't care after that.
What I think so funny is there was one time where I like had a whole bunch of the dragon bones on me and I'm just walking around with them. Everything's fine. And I'm like, side quest, go pick up black salt. And I pick up one little thing of black salt and it's like, you are overweight. I'm like, son of a,
Bethesda games, man.
it's awesome. I love it.
It's one word that people can use.
I
All
think it's
right.
the only one that I actually finished out of all the Elder Scrolls.
Gosh, that's the one game I sunk almost 300 hours in it, and I never finished it. I was just doing side quests.
Yeah,
And
the
then I
side
got
quests are so
distracted by
addicting.
other shiny objects and never went back to it.
The whole
I will s-
crafting system is so good in it too.
I will
Yeah,
say
yeah.
their online game is actually pretty entertaining. I did play a fair bit of that, the Elder Scrolls Online. That was good. Really good storytelling and gameplay. But without further ado, let's get into the dungeon. All right. Oh, that's a lot.
That's so loud.
Yeah. Hey, it is fun managing music here. Last week, for episode 100,
Whoa.
Justinian negotiated with Saris Moore, explaining their situation, and acquired one of the last Shadowspark books. Only one remains. Taking the book, they boarded the ship and started heading back to Kandor's Keep. During their travels, Marsland decided to read the book, noticing this one was a little different than the others, having a conversation with an unexpected person. He had a little bit of a freak out and teleported to Kandor's Keep to wait for a Shadowspark. Giving him the decision to keep the book, he kept the book. And the party went back to their home to rest, to decide their next steps forward. Bishop, you awaken. What are you doing this morning?
Is the city still cleaning up after the attack?
No, it's in pretty good. For the most part, they're still repairing the wall, those things. But as in the general streets, they're pretty clean and everything's pretty much back to normal. Just patching now.
All right. I'm going to leave and go to one of the wall patches to start help.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of that because a lot of things got destroyed. So, yeah. All right. Next, Justinian, you awaken.
Okay. I'm going to check to make sure that nobody else is up and moving, and I'm going to walk over and I'm going to knock on Marsland's door.
Okay.
I'm still here. I'm still sane.
Yeah, he was fine all night.
May I come in, Marsland?
Is that okay with you, Quentin?
It's your room. Won't bother me any.
It is okay with me as well. It's packed in there. It's a sleepover.
Come on in.
I wouldn't have known that because I stormed off in the middle of Marsland.
Yeah, you did. So,
So I walk in and I go, oh, okay. Well, Quentin, I suppose it's just as good that you're here as well to hear this.
We just lost
Biddle. We lost in Biddle, yeah.
Marsland, I want to first apologize to you for storming off last night. I don't know what happened when Fane spoke to you, and I had no right to judge you for the information that you gave him. With our talk on our way to Parents' Folly about me not knowing my place and knowing if I belonged with the group or not, I'm still dealing with all of that. Your talk helped immensely, and now that I've been able to do something for the party that seemed almost impossible, I am renewed, and I believe that we are on the correct path. And I believe that you are a big reason why we're on that path. So I apologize to you, and thank you for being an ear when I needed one.
I accept your apology. Thank you for coming to me and telling me that. It takes courage, and I appreciate it. I'm glad to have you around. You have also contributed greatly. I mean, just what you did in Parents' Folly alone, people can't claim such monumental victories in their lives.
Well, I appreciate you accepting my
real
apology.
quick here. Marza, can you go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw? Unrelated.
Skeptical of you. Wisdom save, you said?
Yep. Okay.
3?
Continue.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with the book?
Nope.
So Gwenton, now that the cat's out of the bag, I had talked to Marslin on the ship on our way to Parents' Folly. My appearance, my pact with Fernandez that I made not knowing what I was doing was all starting to weigh on me, and Marslin gave me comfort, and I appreciate you trusting me to get that book when we had failed through other means. It means a lot to me.
Oh, that's not a problem. Like I said, it's at the time you definitely were the only one I thought who could get the book, considering how everything else was going. And I'm sorry to hear that you felt like you were not known if you're part of the group or not. I definitely have thought of you as part of the group for at least a little while now. It's not like we didn't go through several fights together.
It's not just the group. It's the with my appearance, the disconnect from humanity as a whole. But I think I have a good hold on it now.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, should we go get breakfast and see what Annex and Bishop are up to?
I mean, I could use an ale. That was a long night.
Sure was.
Starting breakfast that way may not be.
Did you stay up the entire night, Quentin?
I don't know. Did I?
You tell me.
You scream while
did,
you sleep.
Yeah.
if you did roll a d20 for exhaustion.
Or I could use this potion of watchful rest that I've had forever and never used.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
The equivalent of a caffeine patch.
Bless you. Yes.
Thank you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry, allergies.
Oh, you're good. Gotta say, it's a little dusty in here. Surprising to hear that. To see that.
Yeah, you would think that two librarians would keep a little bit cleaner house.
Well, I mean,
I cast prestidigitation on the whole room. Jerks.
Sparkles.
All right, so you all kind of sit up and get ready to go eat some breakfast. And Axamander, you awaken. What are you doing?
Heading over to Bren,
Okay.
if she's up. Master Bren, it's my understanding that we have completed the arms and legs for parts for our new team members.
She kind of gets up. She's rubbing her head. Oh, the whiskey doesn't agree with me. What? Are you working already?
The sun is up, and I am up. I apologize. I can wait until a better time, but the day wanes.
You're much too cheerful in the morning. Yes, everything is completed, operational and functional, and your what are they? Soldiers are operating
Generals.
with a good quality of life.
So they've been installed and they're working fine.
They are.
Good. I will.
But you act surprised. Are you doubting my workmanship?
I am doubting their ability to deal with the circumstances they've been thrust into. However, with Tyr at their side, I know that they will persevere.
How is the and she like points at her chest, the pocket.
It's fine as long as the emblem stays right where we left it.
No problems. Hasn't
No
swung
problems.
open.
Nope.
Okay.
It seems that it would be best if that stayed right where it was.
Yes. Not a good look for you.
No. Rapid onset aging is never a good look for anybody.
Yes, I would guess not. You might
Well,
look like an old man soon.
Older. However, I trust that the work is fantastic and exemplary, but I will be checking in to see how they're acclimating. So, and I'll let you know any feedback that comes back. Thank you.
Hey, if you think about it, bring me up a plate when you're done.
Absolutely. And something for your head?
Yes. Maybe some tea with some honey?
Got it. I'll go and take care of that for her.
All right. The rest of you, you're eating breakfast when an Anaximander comes in.
Morning.
Good morning.
The work that Bren has done on the limbs seems to have been completed. So I'm going to go check in with with my team, and we'll see what the next steps are. I got to get them out there and recruiting.
Well, just remember, we also have a clock going now with Fane himself.
Understood.
Have you seen Bishop this morning?
Look around. Nope. It wasn't in Bren's room.
I'm starting to worry about him. He was very, very quiet on the boat ride home. He said more words to you, Marcelin, when we got back home than he said to the entirety of us on the 3 days of that voyage.
Did he just stand up on deck looking out to the whole journey?
Yes. He stared at Parents' Folly even after there was no Parents' Folly to stare at.
I wonder what weighs on his mind.
The fact that we didn't do anything to free those people.
That would make sense. At a certain point, though, we have meddled quite a bit with that city, and how far should we go with what is not our situation?
especially there when we're there under the crown, and none of us managed to think to find out exactly what the crown had requested of Ceres before we went.
Wow, why would we need to know that?
As I've said before, and when I've seen many a battle, and some of the aftermath is difficult to cope with because you cannot. There are some situations you have no control over. You might oust a warlord, and then in comes someone even worse, or or different degree of terrible. You can towns are left rebuilding, and sometimes they don't. The town as a whole doesn't survive because it's difficult to deal with the catastrophe that's happened from either a battle or just being within the vicinity of extraplanar beings coming in, uncaring of residents. That it's difficult, and it is not easy for anyone to have to set aside.
No, perhaps you're right. Perhaps we need to give Bishop space to deal with it as he sees fit.
He also needs to know that we agree with the disturbing facts that happened at Parents' Folly. Yeah, it may be his wish to go and seek justice on behalf of them. You can't stop a man or woman who's got their sights set on healing and seeing justice brought forth in those situations, especially when you have cults and tyrants at the head.
I feel for Bishop because we've had to leave business undone with Ceres, with Colton Frost, with the Drow Queen. It seems like in order to move towards the end goal, we've avoided a lot of the confrontations that he felt were necessary.
Is there a clock in the room?
Not in the kitchen.
House?
In the house, yeah, there'd be one in the main entrance area.
Portable?
Anything's portable.
It's not like a
enough
grandfather
effort.
clock or anything?
No.
Huh? Okay. All right. Justinian, have you ever taken apart a clock before or seen the inside of it?
My family couldn't afford a clock.
Well, consider this. You have one part that is a part of a entire assembly or an entire machine, but that one part is still continues on even if your focus is on the hands. We are focusing on the hands of the clock because it's visible and it's here and it's predominant, but sometimes what's hiding off in the background is still a problem, still in need of tuning. But we have to deal with the problem at hand first, rather than the smaller machinations that are going on in the background. There's schemes upon schemes upon schemes, and we are simply, a few noble residents of these isles who have been tasked with a duty to go and at least address the major issue at hand.
I don't believe that we're going to be able to defeat Fane without Bishop's help. But seeing as how he fought his original programming and became something with a semblance of a conscience, perhaps he's the best suited of us to keep his brethren from wreaking havoc on the land.
I'll take a focused bishop at Perrin's Folly over an unfocused bishop dealing with the Shadowsparks. We're all in on taking care of the Shadowsparks. We have to be. If we're distracted by other issues that are not in the forefront, then we'll lose. I agree with you. Bishop is critical, but if he's distracted by the situation at Perrin's Folly, then we need to let him go his course.
Fair enough.
And I hope that doesn't happen, but we need him focused. We need all of us focused. I need to be focused. Quentin, you, Marsland, we need to be focused on addressing this. These are powers that are well beyond any one of us, and we need everybody focused in order to have a chance. You're talking about dealing with a force that's been scheming for hundreds upon hundreds of years. And we just became privy to a part of his plan.
I can see why you have been called upon as a leader in conflict many a time. You're great at putting things in perspective, Anax.
It's not easy, but thank you for your words. We should go and at least find out where Bishop is gone, if possible. If not, then...
Have we checked upstairs?
We were just up there, and I think Ren was up there as well.
Yeah,
That's where
Annex was up there
where
because his room is.
Yeah,
up
that's
there.
the blacksmithing is on the upper floors.
If Bishop is not home and he is left for the day, I would like for us to respect his wishes and take the book to the academy to get cleansed. He was very adamant about that. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if the academy is ready to cleanse the book just yet. If the whole party agrees that I should not keep it handy, and we think the maybe small potential for strategic advantage of having that connection is not greater than the risk of having that thing close to us, then I'm fine with returning it to the academy. I could also just cast Sending to Bishop.
If you'd like, here's the thing that I realized when we were sailing back from Perrin's Folly. Bishop and Annex have fought this war before. You, myself, and Gwenton, we've only heard about it in legends or read about it in books, but they have fought for or against the Shadowsparks. They know what this army means, and we should lean into their advice.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
So if you would like to contact Bishop after we eat breakfast, you're more than welcome to.
We should at least know that he's okay and let him know where we're going.
I'll wait till at least we finish breakfast, and if he hasn't wandered in the, say, first hour of the morning, then I'll send it.
Okay.
Assuming he doesn't show up.
Nope, he does not.
I think Lamar's burning through his pencil over there, or his quill.
Wait, what?
When Gwenton says that, you look over at Lomar, and he's just like, furiously writing in a book.
Take it easy on the cool there, Lomar. You don't want to snap it in half.
I'm sorry. Just a little thing I've been working on.
What are you working on?
Well, all these talks of evil and bad things in the world, I wanted to put my own version of good out there. And he closes the book and he shows you the cover, and etched on the cover is book 1 of the Unspark Chronicles.
Oh,
I bet you are so glad you picked that name, Marcelin.
you have no idea. It brings me great pride.
As you come back and tell me your stories, I've been trying to do my best to write them down and embellish a little bit as stories go, and it's
But still
quite an
factual.
exciting tale while being factual. Yes, definitely have to be factual. And these books, while standing the test of time, won't have to be collected and cleansed.
This is
Never say never, Lomar.
Good. It's incredible, Lamar. I didn't realize you were working on this. You'll, of course, be putting this into the academy once ready.
Absolutely, yes.
Did you hear that, everybody? We're going to be forever on the shelves of the academy.
Would have thought curing the plague would have done that.
Oh, that's it. That is in the book. And he like thumbs over and opens up to that section, and you could even see he's got some artwork in there that he's put in there. And
I didn't know you were so artsy. This is awesome.
is it a little magic helps with the art.
Yeah. Just don't forget about these sharks trying to get that gillyweed or wherever it was that almost attacked everyone.
Where sharks?
Oh, I'm gonna have to add a page or two, aren't I?
May I thumb through it real quick, Lomar?
Oh, definitely. And he hands it over to you.
I looked to see if like Rift is mentioned at all in there, like by name, or if.
Yeah, you find the section. There's a whole section just named "The Ballad of Oz," which is the story of what happened there. And as you kind of stop on some pages and look through, he actually has some sketches in there of like the change from an astral elf into a ceramorph, into finally like all that stuff.
Yeah. And I'm going to just hold out my hand after sliding the book to him, and I'm going to show him the image of that last interaction between me and Rift before he gave me all his stuff and left the party.
Okay.
And I'll tell him, other than losing Oz's statue, which was very close to this was one of my saddest moments with the group. And then I'll quickly shift the image and I'll turn it into when I hand the book to Marcelin outside of the temple, and I'll go and here's where I finally felt like I belonged with the group and like I was on the correct path for myself finally.
He's just furiously jotting down notes.
This is wonderful, Lomar. Thank you.
You can see, to the best that you can understand, it looks like Lomar is blushing, but that's a hard thing to notice.
Right. Yeah. It's just a slight tinge of purple. That's it.
Yeah.
Master Lar, I would encourage you with this book or these chronicles that do not leave out any of our follies. Because if this will truly stand the test of time, as I have seen many tomes throughout the ages, make sure that let it be known where we have failed and where we have succeeded, so that all that read these chronicles can learn from them.
Here, here.
Will do my best.
Second thing, let's not get distracted on the heroics of the past. Let's get a hold of Bishop and worry about the heroics of the future.
That sounds like your cue, Marsland.
Hey, Bishop. We're all hanging around the kitchen this morning, wondering where you are. Are you safe? Do you need anything? We're going to head to the academy.
You don't get anything.
You son of a gun.
Is that all you say?
No, he doesn't even
You don't
say
get
that.
anything.
Yeah, he doesn't repeat.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't get anything. I thought you said you don't need anything. Just waiting there patiently, tapping my fingers. Any second now. It's usually come by now.
After a few minutes, I'll step in. We should go.
Weird that he hasn't responded yet. I'm sure he's just distracted.
As we walk out, Lamar, when we get back, I expect to hear about Shadowfell. I'm pretty sure it's been 7 days, right? I think it's been way more, to be honest.
Yeah.
It has been a little more.
Well, like say 3 days on a ship to and from.
Yeah.
And then multiple
2 days
there.
there. Yep, 2 nights there.
Was that only 2 nights?
Mm-hmm.
I guess so.
If you don't have anything, yeah, I totally get it. You've been slammed with everything else, so.
Yep. Guess what I forgot? I'll get
BRB.
that.
House turns.
Yeah. Well, no, I knew you had a house a bastion turn coming up after tonight's session, but I forgot. I had the note in there. I just did not act on it. So
No worries.
I think there was a queue set up for Bren as well after the
There
limbs
was.
were manufactured.
It's the Sentinel Shield.
the Sentinel Shield, and we could
Okay,
say she's
great.
done with that. So
Oh, she also done with that?
we'll say she's done with it just to get her back on a normal rotation.
Okay.
So we'll say she
So
started
just
working on it
spinning in.
before and then stopped to do the other things and then pick back up. So she's all good.
Okay.
All right. So Bishop, what are you still just patching things up, doing your thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the majority of the day just helping rebuild the wall.
Okay.
And then once everybody starts packing up, I'll make my way back to the house.
Okay. So evening time then.
Yep.
All right. The rest of you head to the academy. Walk inside. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna see if I can find Drisk or Drusilla.
It's always easier to find Drisk, so you do find Drisk. You see him. He's actually just kind of relaxing, sitting in one of the chairs. He seems
Think
like
we should leave him
relieved.
be.
No.
This is not our way.
Hello, Drisk. You look more relaxed than usual.
Immediately, and you don't know if it's the nature of being a lizard folk, but it almost looks like his eyes just roll back and like you just see a membrane come up and it just holds there for a while. Yes, Marslin.
It's good to see you. I'm sure you've missed the Light and Sparkers.
I always enjoy a visit from the Light Unsparkers.
I think we'll have a quick visit today compared to our norm. I've changed my mind on an item that I have in my possession, and I would like to hand it off
They're
to
talking
Pora.
too much.
She is in her study. Do you need me to show you the way?
I know how to get there, right?
Yes.
I was just there, yeah.
You camped out.
Yeah.
Now, can we all follow, or does that go into the no-no zone?
No, we can all go there.
You've all
Okay.
been there. Yeah.
All right, just want to make sure.
I think I can make it there just fine. I will let you be.
Let me know if you need anything.
We'll do as always. Thank you, Drisk. I'll head off.
Okay. All of you going with him?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You head up to her study. She's there. You can see, a pile of books and scrolls scattered about. You can see her curly hair's a bit more poofy today and out, like she's been like putting her head in her hands a lot today. And she just kind of, when you come up, she just kind of turns her head up at you. Marsland, change your mind?
Precisely. Well, as a group, after we consulted, we decided we did not want this artifact around us 24/7. It made us a little bit too uncomfortable.
They told you to give it, didn't they?
They did.
This doesn't imposition you with your brother, does it?
No. My brother will never be happy with my choices. Sometimes.
But he won't be able to use it against you.
It will be stored in a realm he can't touch with the others.
Drusilla, do you feel it advantageous for us to hold on to this artifact ourselves rather than keeping it here?
I would very much like to keep this as far away from anyone as possible. But being the ones that have found the book, it's your choice where you store them.
Oh, Marsland, I still feel that this would be the safest place for it for the time being until we can cleanse it. However, I am with you and Drusilla. I feel you two are best to be able to decide the fate of this, of these books and where they should reside.
I'm confused. Back at the house, everybody was very adamant that I give it back.
If someone as wise as Drusilla has asked for us to hold on to something, I am reticent to go against that, minus some clear evidence that that doing so would be an impediment to our mission.
Gwynton, Justinian, thoughts?
Do we really understand what the disadvantage and advantages are to this book? Like, if we hold on to it, you, me, Justinian, Anax, or Bishop, are we all going to be underneath the ability to get influenced by Thane? At least Thawne. Or
It is unclear to me. You all were on the ship when I had my episode. I guess advantage is possibly I can talk with Fane. Disadvantage is you possibly lose me to insanity, and Fane is able to take over my body.
I am going to say the same thing that I said at the house. Bishop wanted this book out. Bishop and Annex have fought this war before. I lean to their wisdom. They know, no offense, Drusilla, they know
Poor
who the Shadowsparks are.
You called her Drusilla earlier too, though.
I know. I know.
I'm using the same language you did there, Marcelin.
You
but
know it's Bora.
We have to lean into their wisdom, and I have to trust my own gut instinct as well, and I happen to agree. You communicating with Fane is not what is best for this group, while we try to put up a resistance against him.
I feel like there's a book that has a similar situation. It's called Barry Hodder, and the Horcruxes, something like that.
Must be another universe I'm unfamiliar with.
Must be. Yeah, must be.
I guess my question to Bora is, I understand that you want to keep it away from people. Why do you think being kept here in a dimension that can't be accessed by anyone but maybe you, versus being kept on us in a bag of holding that can very easily be taken away from us, as they have been in the past by various situations? I get that the person wouldn't know it's in there unless they choose to eject everything out of the bag of holding.
Again, it is your choice. I feel our academy is quite a safe location in the event of an assault.
Agreed.
How many
I
times
think if-
have you all been captured or imprisoned so far within the last year?
Do you
It's
count
hard to
Terrence
keep
Folly?
I've still got a few fingers left on both, on one hand. And how many times we've been captured? Too many. Well, if the advantage is being able to communicate with Fane, why not come to the academy in order to attempt to utilize that rather than take the risk of any detrimental effects of having the book on us?
Don't exactly know how to initiate the connection. I don't, right?
With who?
Bane.
Fane.
Fane.
No.
Yeah. No, the communication happened with Fane initiating it. Fane started talking, expecting somebody else to have the book, and was very surprised when I answered.
He was more likely expecting Cirrus then.
I have to imagine.
See, that's something you didn't tell us last time.
You did not.
So there you go. You're not even giving us all the information. So now we know Cirrus.
Hey, you aren't here.
With Thane. I'm here as a freaking player.
Hey, go build your house.
And if you ain't gonna call it out, I'll call it out.
I'm
Well-
unconvinced that it maybe was exactly Ceres that Fane was talking to, because if indeed Fane and Ceres were talking through this book, why would Ceres ever give this up? Knowing what we would be using it for.
Perhaps he views if he gets rid of Fane, he'll gain more power with his goddess. Quentin did say that Bashaba was a goddess of trickery and lies and jealousy and indulgence, and everything that we saw about Ceres tells us that he follows her to a T. Giving you the book, if he no longer requires the spells out of it, such as the restoration spell you told me that he had in there. If we
Correct.
cured Mirren's Kiss, he doesn't need that spell, and better to give it up to us so that we can destroy Fane for him than to have to deal with Fane himself.
All I'll say is it seems plausible.
Well, either way, a lot of this is speculation. What we do know, and based off of this, is that Fane is in control of the communication, and so with Fane in control, the reverse is true, that he can know where we are and possibly influence us or use that to his advantage. So keeping it sealed here would be, I think, the appropriate action, and I am with Bishop.
I am as well.
Then here we will leave it.
Quentin?
If we want to leave it here, that's perfectly fine with me. Like I said, I don't understand the advantages or disadvantages enough of this to be able to say it's worth keeping. And at the same time, the one disadvantage that we haven't really thought about is I get that the Academy is safer than most things. I'm not going to try to put that down. But what if all the books will get stolen right after we get done giving them here? Or if having this book next to the other 5 books we have going to be helping Fane in some way.
Yep. I think keeping Fane
just- hold on.
locked into... Hmm?
Didn't we have this discussion already? Horace said she can fix the books. That was the whole reason we were bringing the books to the Academy.
Yes, but I
Yes.
don't think she's
No,
fixing any of them.
No,
yet.
remember Glav, the
It's
person that
researching it.
is researching how to fix
Okay,
it.
but it's still part of the Academy.
He's not part of the Academy.
I thought he was working for Pora.
No, he's just like we met him up in some north town.
I thought
and
she sent him to.
She did.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's working for Pora.
Right.
So if he finds something out,
It's been a long time.
it's easier for the books to be accessible to the Academy than trying to track us down. The only reason I took the books back out of the Academy was for some reason. I don't even remember why we did it.
She is when she was being possibly executed, and we're
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
that's
we
right.
don't want them to
We
be
needed them
somewhere else."
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We went
Sorry.
Osseo,
That's just
Osseo Horcrux is what we did.
Yes, and it actually worked.
Yeah, and it did. It did work.
so. All right, I'll be quiet again.
No, you're good. But like I was saying, it's one of those situations where I do agree putting the book here where only Horror can get to it. But at the same time, how do we know what happens when they're all assembled when they're not being cleansed yet? Because if we have no update on when to cleanse the books, how do we know collecting them all at the same time isn't going to cause a different problem?
And my thought process behind this, Quentin, because I understand where you're coming from. No offense to Quentin or to Marcelin, he can ascend 2 more levels of the Academy than I can. Maybe even 3 more levels than I can. But the Academy doesn't get any higher, and we have to put our trust in her. If it wasn't for her, I don't think we would have defeated Athan on our own. And so we have to put our trust into her if we are going to save Phrasia from what is coming.
Oh, this has never been, to me, about lack of trust with Pora. Not with the books.
Fair enough. So Marcelin, if you could please surrender the book.
I'll hand it over.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Is everyone else sure?
Positive.
Agreed.
Indifferent.
Oh, nobody plays a stubborn dwarf like Quentin does.
I'm very stubborn. It works out really well for me
It's
sometimes.
So she takes the book and just kind of puts it into a satchel that disappears. Well,
Like the satchel
The
disappears?
whole satchel disappears?
no, the book
Oh,
disappears. in the
okay.
satchel, yeah.
Woo. We can tell who really geeks out on the magic items in this group.
Well, remember the first time we see a disappearing satchel.
Right?
That would come in handy. Well, we're done here.
Cora, thank you as always for your time, and thank you for taking care of Marzelin last night while we were indisposed
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. Yeah.
All she does is go, lose my number.
Right.
No,
Flips
no,
me off.
Looking at something else that's quite curious. Is there anything else that we can do, that I can do for you?
How about this? Is there anything we can do for you right now?
A few days peace? I mean, keep up. the good
Unprepared
work.
sending. I don't have it anymore.
Where are you off to next, Unsparkers?
I believe once we meet up with Bishop and get a plan together, we're heading to those islands southeast of the lands underneath the dragon's face thing.
You're so technical, Quentin.
I am so good at nautical directions, it's insane.
How did Marzelin ever become our ship's captain with you giving such flawless directions?
Because he's the first one to sit in a chair and put a helmet on.
Well, there was that.
While I was up there with Diana at the time, making sure she was okay.
Well, I'm not quite sure where you're talking about, but best of luck.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you. And
Keep
Ow.
sparking.
almost like the word we're looking for is extinguish. And I just start walking towards the door.
All I can picture is having a flint that you go, and it just doesn't spark.
It only takes one person to brand a group for eternity.
Stares at Marcelin.
Everything good, Marcelin?
Never been better.
Take care. And she turns around and goes back to her desk. What would you like to do now? You descend back to the main floor of the academy.
Well, while we're in town, is there anything anyone needs? I think I'm good on most of my stuff right now.
No one wants to talk to you, Gwen.
I see that. It's
No,
fine.
I'm sorry. I'm reading something real quick because I've got notes that of things that I wanted to do here in town.
What did Quentin? What did you say again?
Since we're in middle of town, anything anyone needs to get. Like, surprise. I'm good on diamonds and diamond dust for most of my spells. I'm good on all the healing stuff for now.
I am okay in that regard. What's in the forefront of my mind is meeting with those newly recorded, newly reporting for duty under the army of Tyr. That's.
Well, do we want to go? If there's stuff that Justinian needs to get, he can go off and do that. I don't know if Marsden has anything he wants to do.
I am good to just tag along.
If an axe mender wants people to tag with them to go visit these newly re-limbed people.
Relimbed.
I'm going to visit Restus.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see back at the
Mars-
house then.
Marsland, are you going with Annex and them, or?
Yeah, I'll tag along.
Okay, so you're going with them then. All right, so I'll go to Restus alone.
All right. Annex.
Let's head over to Edvard Moonstork, the half-elf male. Lost an arm.
Took an arrow to the knee.
He did not take an arrow to the knee. That would be Sissany Small Feet.
Okay. You having been given locations of all their homes, proceed there and knock on the door. He opens up the door and immediately sits down on one knee. Sir, how might I be of service?
Oh, Stan, stop that. How are you? I'll look at his arm.
And it's beautiful construction. Not only does it functionally work extremely well, it's well made, and its aesthetics are gorgeous. Works great. And
Okay.
he feigns like a couple punches.
Stand on that foot.
You know.
Okay. And the leg.
Good as new. He kind of spins around a little bit, does a little tap dance, and kind of looks at you.
Yep. Excellent. Now that you have recovered, tell me, where do your strengths lie?
Well, I was a soldier, sir. That's all I know. What strengths might I have besides fighting?
Fighting. Fair. Short sword is your weapon of choice?
Long sword, shield.
Long sword. Good. Now, do you have one handy?
Of course. Family sword,
Good.
sir.
Are you practicing with them, with the new limbs?
Of course, but I keep cutting too deeply into the test dummy.
You need to exercise control with the enhancements in the fashion that they are. It takes, just like with anything, it takes a degree of control to be able to master it. Now, DM, if I remember right, this is a while ago, but didn't I go to the soldiers' training area and ask to see if they could train there, or was that just like a fever dream?
I think you looked for
You
it, but they
did.
didn't. I don't think they.
No, he
had
did because
one.
he asked permission.
Yeah, I
okay.
thought I did.
Oh yeah,
but I
you did.
just-
Yeah, that was the militia captain or whatever.
Yes.
Or the
And I had to ask for permission to have
start a
them come in
militia.
there.
Yeah, that was the town guard.
Yes.
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 Not like a
Okay.
fighters guild or anything like that.
Nope. Because I don't,
Okay.
as far as my understanding, there's no fighters guild
Nope.
here.
That's what I was gonna say. There's
Okay.
no fighters guild here, but yes, you did talk to the captain of the guards, and they gave you permission to form a militia in the name of Tyr or whatever.
Okay. All right. Now, since seeing as I will be off on duty, trying to take care of matters on a more severe matter, and I will need you, along with Sisney and Durrani, to continue that training there. And in the meanwhile, I need you to spruce up, okay, and get familiar with Tyr. We have the local temple here, and I need you to go, use the three of you to go and to seek the knowledge that comes from there, and that is the exercising of your mind. Okay, I need you to focus on on Tyr, so that you can help to draw on that power, and it will take time, especially at this juncture with Tyr in the state that he is in. I need you to focus on him. Keep those prayers coming, for not only for yourself, for the confidence that will come from such prayers, but also keeping him in the forefront and of your mind, and sending those prayers upward to him. And then there's finally the physical body. I need you to add the three of you to continue to go and exercise and train over at the training grounds with the guardsmen. We have been given permission to do so. If there is any financial means that we need, I would encourage you to come to our residence where you have where you receive these limbs, and then Master Lomar will be able to, and Bryn will be able to assist you with that. I will equip them with the funds to be able to help out during this time. It is a great task that I give you here, because that is only for your own growth. In addition to all of that, we'll be going to the next level, and that is to continue to bring more into this militia. And it is a great task that I ask you here. I will be here to help assist you with this. However, I may not be here physically during swaths of time during this. Are you willing to be able to take on this task?
He just looks at you. Willing and able, sir.
Good. I'll put my hand on his shoulder. Thank you. So, please keep the communication going with Bryn and Lomar at our establishment. And what is our manor called again? We don't have a name for the house.
Shadowspark mansion.
I reference it as Unspark Manor, but I don't think you actually have.
No, I don't think
a
we've
name
ever
for
actually
it.
called it
No.
anything. But so I'm not gonna name it here, because lest we end up with something like the Unsparkers again. I'm gonna, after we get done here, DM, I'm going to go and relay that to Sisney and Durrani.
Okay.
Okay, and and then I'll head back to town, where I'll begin another discussion with the other two that are there.
Okay, so you're just going around talking to those, having the same conversation with the others. Okay,
Mhm.
that's going to take you into the late evening. Justinian,
Yes.
you go up to Beggar's Market.
Yep.
Restus is definitely there helping people. Beggar's Market has gotten better. Buildings have been improved. They're rebuilding some stuff, cleaning up the streets a bit. It looks nicer there.
Restus.
Ah, back from adventuring.
Yes. Unfortunately, I didn't win any more coin. However, seeing as how the last time I was here, I was seeing that you were putting good coin to not only your own personal good use, but also that of your district. I would like to give you 15 platinum, though I made nothing on my previous adventure.
Well, that is quite kind of you. I appreciate it.
You keep doing good work for not only the district, but yourself, and I will continue to reward.
You're always welcome in the market. You keep this up, we'll name a building after you. We'll give
Any food vendors whose wares have particularly improved under your leadership?
They're getting there. It's still a bit rough. But I'm thinking we design a building. And what if we design it with a antler motif? Would that be offensive?
And I gesture to my own and I'm like, not at all.
I would love to do this. I believe we'll do that.
Antlers are so versatile, are they not? They look good everywhere.
They're not my cup of tea, but I'm partial to my own. And he kind of rubs one of the horns that kind of wraps around through his hair.
I just shake his hand and I say, thank you so much for honoring your words.
Thank you for honoring yours.
Of course.
Have you seen the blue fellow?
I have. Like I said, we didn't gain anything on this trip, so I doubt you'll be seeing him.
Just making sure he's alive.
Oh, yes. I will let you know if those circumstances change.
I appreciate it. And your other friends, the other Unsparkers, are aware of our agreement?
I believe so.
Just in case you both pass away unexpectedly. I'd hate to wait for a payment and it never show up because you're dead.
Fair enough.
Just get him somewhere that can use sending.
I will make sure that I update my instructions on what to do with my coin in the event of my death.
I don't want to sound greedy, but things are getting good here in the market.
I agree. I think you're starting to rival some of the other districts.
I'm garnering quite a bit of respect at the council.
Good. Who knows when I may need to cash in another favor? And I just smirk at him.
How did things go at the Folly?
Difficult. Very difficult. I guess members of my party had been there before, and
Yes.
Saris
they
wasn't
have.
too happy to see them. They weren't
Cyrus
too
isn't
happy to see him.
to see anyone.
You know, he treated me with respect.
Interesting.
Wait, so Restus knows about Sirius?
Oh, yes. Restus is one of those guys that knows a little bit about everything.
You guys did bring Saris back here for his trial, correct?
Yes. It's that strange line between the laws of the lands and freedom of religion. It's not that we agree with things, but What is the bigger crime? What was being done willingly or infringing upon those rights?
And that is the unfortunate thing that my party had to come to terms with.
Not an easy task.
No, not at all. But for the good of the realm and the good of Kandor's Keep, sacrifices in what people wanted to see happen versus what had to happen took place.
One of my favorite toasts. For the good of the realm.
Well, thank you for your time, and we will see you when I have more fortune to share.
You're welcome anytime.
And I will just head back to the house.
Okay. Bishop, you finish as people kind of head out for dinner and done for the day. Get back at the house as dusk is setting in. What do you want to do?
I'll go to my room and clean up.
Okay. So not long after that, Justinian, you come home. You'd be able to hear Bryn talking and Bishop in there, but what would you like to do?
I will, having talked to Bishop on the ship and getting kind of the cold shoulder while he deals with things, I'm going to try to respect his way, and I'm going to wait for him to be ready to talk. So I will just go to my room and look at my plants and play with my grimoire.
Okay.
That sounds dirty.
Well, see, it's only okay for the wizard to play with his book. All right.
Well, to be fair, I think he says read.
Yeah, playing with your grimoire. Hey, man. Bishop, you would hear somebody came inside and then the door closed. You're not sure which one it is, but somebody's home. A little bit later, about an hour later or so, the rest of you get back home. What would you like to do?
Do we see like Mordecai or like, any of the people who are typically there, right?
Yeah, they're around.
I was asking if they've seen if Bishop and Justinian have at least came back.
Wait, Mordecai.
Mordecai is our tabaxi who takes care of making the greater healing potions that we always use.
Yep. And you've got one more of those
trademark
for whoever you
Yeah,
give that to.
I was good. Hear that later, but yeah.
They mentioned that Bishop went to his room and so did Justinian, and those are the only two that have come home.
Well, at least everyone's here. That's better than not knowing where they are for the night.
All right. What would you like to do?
I don't have anything pressing to do. Marsden, you feel like you're fine to not have a sleepover tonight?
As fun as that was, without the book, I don't think that will be necessary.
Okay, but if you're feeling anything, like any lingering effects, let me know as soon as you can.
You will be the first to know, after Lomar.
And whoever you run into between your room and my room.
Of course.
All right.
Well, important to the academy, guys. Bye.
No,
So
and actually, we never did have a chance to go over with everyone what our plans were that we made on the ship on the way back about how to best handle getting to the plane of fire, and then as long as we get the sword from the plane of fire, how to get to the Arboreum.
We never did. The space or the distance between every one of those areas in question is great. To go and retrieve the last book is weeks, at least a week, in order to get to the island, the unknown island, and the Arboreum is in the opposite direction. However, before we can even think about going to the Arboreum, where there are still elements of the sword that we need to gather.
Yeah,
So-
I think right now you're going a little too far to what we have to do, right? Because and Marsden, just so you are aware what we're talking about, initially on the ship, after you teleported out and Justinian had a panic attack, Anax and I sat down and we're trying to figure out the best way how to handle the timeline stuff, right? So what we should do, right, is go get the last book, go through whatever shenanigans we need to get to the last book, bring it back to Pora so she has all 7, inquire about Glav?
Glav or Volg, either works.
Inquire about them to see where they're at there. And then from that situation, the next spot should be the plane of fire, because that's the fire flame. That's the plane we know the most about right now, based on Lamar's finding, right? And we know we need to get Justinian's sword. So the idea, because this would work, was we fly the ship to, the island of Ignia, jump off at the holy place, and while we go to the plane of fire, you make sure the ship allows this, have one of our crewmen fly the ship from the island to the Arboreum and set down there. So that way, once we get the sword, the last sword piece, I can teleport us to the ship.
From anywhere.
Yes.
Sorry, wait. You can?
Yes.
Okay. All of us.
Yeah, I can do all of us.
May I direct your attention to 5 days ago when Quentin mysteriously disappeared?
That was like 10 days ago now. When
Was it 10?
I didn't
Teleport.
realize Gwynton's magic would be able to take all of us.
Yep, as long as everyone's willing, I can handle up to like 6 people, I think it is. And there's no magic interference.
So it would be putting great trust in one of our crew members.
Well, I would like to think that if your ship didn't like what they're doing, I feel like your ship would handle it. Little.
Out of character, would I know
carefully.
if can the ship fly itself?
No.
No, someone has to be in the
Okay.
seat. That's why you, me, and Jeff tend to rotate on the 8-hour schedule to just
And-
go.
Out of character, we did have somebody request to be piloting on the ship.
I was getting to that, and it was because she was talking to me.
What how the moody robot's voice just keeps coming over the PA system.
I get the broom, bitch.
Somebody's got to say these things.
I'm not in the room, which is why I can't.
Hey, you
Bishop,
go
if you wanna
soak in
talk,
your
come
room. We'll
down.
talk to you in a minute. So speaking of piloting a ship, we have been it has been requested by the ship, the captain of the ship who took us to Parents Folly, Jaina, right?
Yep.
Thank you. Jaina, who would like to pilot pilot our airship, whose name escapes me, and is right there at the tip of my tongue.
Brindlestar.
Brindlestar would like to pilot the Brindlestar.
I mean, I have no problem with her. I trust her with how she's got us to and fro. The only problem would be, can she use magic? I believe that's a requirement on the ship to
Pretty
pilot it. And not out of character, it is a requirement. I remember this. At least in order to activate the ship the first time, it was a requirement. I think this was just discussed in one of our just talking episodes. Second, it would have to still be a situation, which I feel like the Brindlestar would be okay with it, to have someone else fly her, considering she let me fly her by myself.
You do have to be a spellcaster, yes.
It's almost like I remembered instead of notes.
It's a step in the right direction.
But in all, Marsden, it is. I get we joke about you being the captain and everything, but the ship did take to you.
It's not a
From what you've said, it is your ship, which is why have no complaints about you being the captain. Whether you know how to handle a ship like an Anaximander, because an Anaximander has been sailing the astral sea, say the high seas, is a difference of opinion on it. You are the captain, so it's up to you if you want someone else to be considered a captain, or if she's okay with being considered like second mate if an axe is supposed to be first mate.
Out of character, I did attune to this thing, right?
Yeah, but you can pass attunement.
Yeah, and I know I do realize that this attunement works just like any other attunement, right?
You have to attune to the ship.
To the helmet. It's oddly enough, it's different than a regular attunement. It's just an action. It's not like an hour.
Wait, have Jeff and I tuned to the helmet?
Yes, because we talked about this. Transfer attunement. You can use an action to touch a willing spellcaster. That creature attunes to the spell jamming helm immediately, and your attunement to it ends.
Okay, so the ship not talking to us is just a map.
The ship's being an asshole. That's what it is.
I might have found a flaw in something, but we'll talk about that post.
Wait, the ship, it can be attuned to multiple players
Only
at the same time.
No, one person at a time, and you transfer that.
So, but is just taking the helm off, removing the attunement?
No.
So when we've been
it's like
switching
a
captains,
secret
we've been
handshake.
switching attunement.
Yeah, it's basically patting them on the shoulder and
You're in.
passing it.
Right, we're
tapping
doing the
them
Top
in.
Gun high five.
Yeah.
So the ship is just an asshole.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that I actually had. Okay, interesting.
You thought that Marsden
You thought
was
you had something
special.
special.
Yeah.
Well, no, I
He
didn't.
does. Yeah, he does.
I thought I had like a full attunement or something, and they didn't.
No.
I honestly didn't remember the attunement part, and I thought maybe the attunement was why the ship never talks to us.
Now the ship may feel differently about that.
I am not a bicycle. Stop passing me around.
I can't quite say exactly why the ship likes me so much, but it shouldn't be much of an issue letting somebody else captain it. I feel no pride in the matter.
Okay. Well, maybe tomorrow, if we can get everybody here to go over what we just talked about, that would be great. And then, well, if Bishop wants to go off do something, if Justinian needs to go off do something, excuse me, at least one of us could go talk to her and let her know, hey, we're going to take you up on that offer.
I'll talk with her.
Okay. So the next question is, do we want her moving forward? Do we want her with us at all times on the ship? So like, in 2 days, when we start sailing to those random islands underneath a imaginary dragon sticker on a map, do we want her there with us then? Or do we just mostly want to wait until we're trying to do the Arboreum stuff?
Well, what is her going rate?
That's a great question, actually.
Of those, I will discuss that with her as well. But of those that I've met in this era, capable of flying a ship, I trust no one else but Jaina. I will have that conversation with her.
And it's something we can figure out and work with her.
Likely in the morning. I will seek her out, and we will have an answer.
I got no problem with that. If everyone is done, I'm ready for food and then the day.
There's did anyone join me as I was doing the
Yeah, the two you walked in with.
Like literally, they've been following you around the whole day, dude.
Gwyn
Yeah.
and Marsland, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I need to secure some, or at least leave some funds here with Lomar and Bryn to make sure that the tier acolytes are taken care of.
Okay.
So I'll go and relay the info that I presented to the acolytes. I'm calling them acolytes now because I don't know what else to call them. So the and just let them know that they'll be stopping in from time to time to relay communication and possibly seeking funding. And and I'll hand them 500 gold.
Okay.
Okay. And if it goes beyond this, just mark it down and let me know, and then I will reimburse the difference.
All right. When you talk with Bryn about that, of course, Bishop is up there.
Is it just me and Bishop?
And
Bryn?
Bryn. Yep.
And Bryn? Okay. Just come up to him. How you doing, friend?
Doing what I can.
Well, you taking care of yourself? We tried to reach you earlier today. We were concerned.
Doesn't seem like we are making much of an effort. So I did what I could. Helping to rebuild the city is at least something that can keep me busy.
Is it helping?
It's been a day. I take it returning the book went according to plan.
We're no longer in possession of the book. We've all agreed, same as you, that leaving the book here was the best decision.
I will be ready to go when we have decided what we are doing next. But until then, I am keeping myself busy.
You have friends, Bishop. I'll leave it at that. We're heading out to speak with Jaina about piloting the ship. And you're welcome to join us. But it looks like we'll be steering our way towards the plane of fire.
No.
Are we not going to collect the last Shadowspark Chronicle?
Something that we should be discussing, together. There's some various steps in play, whether picking up the book, going to the plane of fire. There's a lot to be had. We could.
I thought our next steps were going to Mechanus.
We could use your wisdom in part of the decision-making process.
I thought there was a plan. Are we now changing what we had discussed?
Things are ever changing, Bishop. And we're just rolling with those changes and adjusting accordingly. No decision is final right now. But there is a lot to do, and we need you.
When is the next meeting?
Tomorrow morning, just after breakfast.
I will be there.
I look forward to it. I'm here if you need to chat.
Some things I need to work out for myself.
As you say. No. Head back to my room.
Anyone doing anything with their evening or just going to bed?
I eventually come down and grab dinner after practicing.
You better wash your hands.
Gotta turn everything dirty.
You can tell everybody's come home and has already gone to their room, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay, and go get dinner. And
I just sit down, make myself a simple sandwich, and I eat while smiling to myself, knowing that, you know, we're on the hunt for that last book, and we're getting ever closer to getting those books out of the hands of those who would use them for harm. And thinking back on who all has had possession of those books since we've started taking them all, I marvel at how over the last 6 months with the Light on Sparkers, we've managed to accomplish so much, even though we've bumbled through it a little bit occasionally.
okay.
And
then you-
Justinian seems more peaceful now than he ever has before. He just quietly puts his dishes away and goes back to his room.
All right. Everyone has a restful night's sleep. Bishop, you would be up first.
I'm just gonna wait in the room until I hear other people moving around.
Okay. Justinian, you're up next.
I'll walk over and knock on Marcelin's door just like I did the morning before.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Still feeling okay? No residual energy from your time with the book?
Not that I can feel. Seems to have left me when we left it at the academy.
Well, Restus was asking after you when I dropped off my contribution, and I let him know that we did not make any money off this last venture, but I did give him a little something. It's quite remarkable what he is doing with that small amount of money that you and I have passed off.
Beggar's Market seems to be flourishing.
Pretty soon, I don't think anybody will be calling it Beggar's Market anymore.
At least it seems to be going to a good cause and not into his own pocket.
I think he's doing well with it as well. The better his district does, the better he does.
Are we ready to get moving?
Are we going somewhere?
Not everyone's not down there yet.
Marcelin, was there somewhere we were supposed to go?
Well, we aren't going to be staying at the house forever, surely. Off to the next task.
Oh, well, I will go put on my armor then. And I walk back to my room and start collecting my adventuring gear and strapping my armor in.
Okay. Quentin, you awaken an Axemander as well.
I'll go down and wait for everyone in the bedroom.
Okay. Everyone's heading to the breakfast area.
Yep. I'll wake up and I'll beginning a morning prayer. Tyr, God of honor and law, Lend me your strength, not for aggression, but for perseverance. Grant me the inner resilience to face challenges with an unyielding spirit and the bravery to always choose the righteous path, no matter the cost.
All right.
After a few minutes, I'll get up, head downstairs.
Bishop, you going down there?
Yeah.
Okay. Marsden, you heading there?
Yep.
Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm?
Just asking a simple question. Okay. You all gather for breakfast. You there? Everyone's there. It smells delicious. She's outdone herself this time.
Aunt Southern lady name is amazing.
Marsland, why do I appear to be the only one ready to leave the house?
I didn't say get ready. I just asked if we were getting ready to go.
Okay. And I just like sit down, my armor clanking at the kitchen table. And set my shield, my sword down to my side, just like pop the bag next to the shield. So, Marsland tells me that we're getting ready to go. I just take a bite of my food.
Essentially, we'll be leaving soon. I know something we haven't been able to talk about since we got back is on the sail ride back with Jaina from Parents' Folly, and Axmander and I were talking about trying to put a plan together about going to the islands to get the last book, and then the most time-efficient way of when we go from the Plane of Fire to the Arboreum to try to shave off some time of just sailing, right?
Wait, hold on. We can't just go to the fire plane and then immediately go to the Arboreum or Arboreum. I'm sorry. We have to go to the Feywild first and collect blessings and other material components to reforge the sword.
The point still stands that because we can go to the Shadowfell and we can go to the Flame and we go to Mechanus from one location. Because all the entrances so conveniently be at Ignia, where that
Are we
temple
not
was.
taking into account resupplies? Do we honestly think we are going into these planes and won't be noticed? There won't be battles. There won't be injuries.
Do we want to take the last Shadowspark Chronicle from the Shadowfell and then immediately walk on into the Plane of Fire with it?
The last book isn't in the Shadowfell. The last book is on this plane. All the books were here.
Yep, it's on the islands under the dragon.
So yeah, so we'd be going to the island that's southeast to here.
Okay.
On the map, like I'll point to where it is on the map. And then once we get the book here, we'll, come back here to drop it off with Pora, inquire about Glav's research, and try to figure out if they have any type of timeline of when they're going to be able to start cleansing the books. And then from there, it is going to be how to best handle the Ignia, and to get to Ignia, to go to the various locations. And as I'm talking, I just remembered that there conveniently is a teleportation circle in Ignia's head that we can use to go back and forth a few times between.
To get Arboreum.
No.
I think that was one of them.
No. The teleportation circle in the temple on Ignia was a generic teleportation circle that someone who knows how to use a teleportation spell, looks at Marsland, can use to get us from point A to point B that they've been to before. So right now, the only way to use it would be to go from the Academy to Ignia, Academy, Ignia.
I'm gonna need a flowchart.
And then
Me
now,
too.
just to make sure that I understand correctly, you are saying there is a teleportation circle inside of the academy.
Yes, we've all seen it.
Have we?
I
Yes,
think we've all used it.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
No, we haven't used that. I don't. Did we all use it?
I think.
I think you did use it when you came back from somewhere.
From Ignia.
No, because we flew back.
No,
from
because you
Ignia.
flew back with the ship. Else the ship would have
okay.
still been there.
That's true.
Okay, well, I must not have been paying very good attention.
Yeah, no,
then,
you're
'cause
good.
I don't ever remember teleporting back to the academy from anywhere.
I honestly don't either. I just remember the teleportation circles, and this may be me just remembering Drastin telling Marsland everything, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's why I was questioning
Quentin
it.
teleported once, but that was to the ship. Marsland teleported, but that was that to the academy or
That was to the academy.
house?
That was to the academy.
But that's a personal Marsland teleporter, though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Is it?
Nope.
No, it's a general teleportation circle that anyone could use.
You were all there when
Yep.
we went. Yeah.
Okay, so as long as we are not taking items to these locations that we cannot afford to lose, I am okay with it. We cannot afford to lose another book. We have to be careful, and we have to be diligent in what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Just for reference, there were teleportation circles to things
Several
in
locations.
Waterdeep, Phrasia, Drakenball, and Rishon. But some of those were kind of tore down and in disrepair.
Wasn't there a Tannis Symptom one too? That was like scratched out, so it couldn't be used anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there were
there
some
were-
that were scratched out. Yeah.
There were
So-
more towns around the island.
Yeah. So with remembering this, something we can do again to try to help save time for next minute, right? That's what we were initially talking about.
Yes.
Is and unfortunately this is going to rely kind of heavily on you for a little bit, just Marsland, to use, so we could use the Academy's teleportation circle to go from here to Ignia, go into Shadowfell, Planet Fire, Mechanus, whichever one we need to go into, come back, you use your ability to go from there back to here, restock, leave whatever new item we acquire, depending on what it is, because I believe Mechanus has a echo that is for Bishop to use. So to me, it would make more sense that he could just equip it and start using it immediately, right? Once he attunes to it. But as far as like your sword piece, I'd understand if you want to leave that sword piece here while we then go to Shadowfell and get the last components that we need to forge it together. But once we head to the final location, whether that's Mechanus, Flame, Shadowfell, we could then take Jaina. By the way, we're talking about hiring Jaina to pilot the ship instead of always being Marsland.
Yep. I talked to Bishop about that. Yep.
Justinian doesn't know though. So to free up that, so what we can do is once we go to that last location, we could have Jaina take the ship with the crew and fly to the Arboreum, right? And then we get the bits and pieces we need. We get out of Shadowfell. We teleport from Ignia back here, pick up the sword piece, restock, and then I can teleport us to the ship, which is hopefully at the Arboreum safe and sound. And then we can do what we need to do there.
So we would be using the same teleportation that you used when you left the Death Knight.
For when I teleport us, yes.
Okay.
Out of character question. So I've seen the teleportation circle to the Arboreum in the Academy. Would that allow me to teleport to the Arboreum from the one on Ignia?
No. The way the teleportation circles work is I think you have to see you have to have seen the other circle or whatever.
I thought they were just matched pairs.
Good luck.
Question:
I
I guess that. Oh,
D&D
No,
Beyond's
you're
been
good.
super slow.
Was the Arborium not scratched out? For some reason, I thought it wasn't.
it's not.
Okay.
I didn't think it was scratched out.
Smirn, no, Rashawn was magically sealed, and then
Rashawn was blowing up.
that's why I was magically sealed.
So taking that into effect again, we don't need to send a ship at all to the Arborium.
And then Tanis Simprum and Das Khaldun are scratched out. It costs 100 gold every time I cast that spell.
Hey, it's a good thing I got a chunk of change from the adventures we've been on for the group fund.
Sorry, 50 gold.
Even better. We
can
all work
also-
twice as much.
I can also kick in for 1 teleportation as well.
I don't think that'll be necessary, Justinian.
Okay.
We'll
It's
figure
ju-
that out. Those are ancillary.
Yeah.
You know, we've been dawdling here with the planning for a while, and and understandably, nothing. I don't believe that we have been. This planning has been in vain, but it is time. We've
Dawdling,
prepared
we've
enough.
been at it for breakfast.
Several days, but I think we have a good path forward. Bishop, your thoughts?
I know we
Apparently
throw a
Bishop
lot.
doesn't have thoughts anymore.
It seems you all have it figured out.
I'm not understanding. You said we've been planning this for several days?
We've been trying to figure out what the next step is since we acquired the last book. The task at hand is great in scope. However, we cannot just look 24 hours in advance and in order to plan. We've all been talking about what is the next step after we acquire the one in Parents' Folly. That was the Parents' Folly was the problem child because of the history of the unsparkers in Parents' Folly. But the planning has always been occurring as what is the next step. We do not wait until this step is completed. We are constantly looking forward to see, all right, what is next after we do this.
But you
that
keep
more clear,
saying we.
Justinian?
You keep saying we. But I have been in no part of the plan since Parents' Folly. I have not been included in any discussion or any decision that has been made until right now at this meeting.
Is
This
there
is
a
the first
problem,
ti-
Justinian?
Yes.
I'm okay. Well, then
There-
let it out.
there is.
I mean, we're trying to move forward, but if there's a problem with the way that things are being handled right now, now's the time to do it. No one is leaving you out of the discussion process. If there is a problem, go ahead and let it out. But I can assure you, at least from my end, you have not been intentionally left out of this discussion.
Was everybody else involved in these plans other than myself?
No, just to make you fully aware of what happened, right? Is after Marsden teleported off of the ship, an activator came to me and we were just chit-chatting about it. It's not that we meant to exclude anyone about it. We wanted to bring it up. However, we were trying to everybody, right? We wanted to bring it up with everybody to talk about less amount of times. But yesterday we couldn't get a hold of Bishop because Bishop was off doing something. And then last night was the second time. So I would say it's the second day planning where we were just filling in Marsland. And then we also brought up Jaina because an accident brought up that she wanted to fly the ship, right? So it was, again, like he said, no one was intentionally left out. It's just everyone kept doing their various things, which is perfectly fine, right? That's why we want to make sure we got everyone together today to talk about it. Say, hey, this is just some of the things we've been thinking about. Get your input, get his input, and try to make another plan going together from there.
I
Here's-
understand that. But
Here's
when-
the problem.
go ahead, Bishop.
Before Perrin's Folly, I believe we all had discussed our first priority was getting the books, the remaining 2 books. Then it was discussed, and I'm pretty sure you were included in this conversation, Justinian. We were going to Mechanus. Here's the problem. Since we got the book from Perrin's Folly, one of us has spoken to the enemy. We don't know what exactly Marsland said because Marsland doesn't always inform us of every little thing. And we all know he talks quite a bit. No offense, Marsland, but that's the way you are. So now we're being told we're on a timer again. And the plan has changed from going to Mechanus to the Plane of Fire. So what are we doing?
Well, that's kind of what we're here for. We can go to Mechanus, because I'll be honest, I forgot about Mechanus with everything going on from Perrin's Folly, and then getting back. Here's the point of, I think there's a point of contention here that doesn't need to happen. All 3
Agreed.
locations are accessed by the same spot. So no matter which one we go to first, the amount of effort isn't much. Because we already know that Mechanus, we go there, we're expecting lots of puzzles and to not put anything out of line. And then the Plane of Fire, we just know to be weary of the time of day because it gets excessively hot, if I remember right, and try to make it to one of the cities. Either way, for those right now, those are the only 2 options we have because we have information on them. Shadowfell will be TBD based on when we get some of that information. And like I said, I have no problem with getting the book, bringing the book back, completing that situation, and then going to Mechanus to get that echo, because that hopefully will be just getting the echo and not assembling the echo plus the 5 fingers or whatever on it.
I am in agreement with what Bishop said and what you just laid out, Quentin. I apologize, Anaximander. You saying dilly-dally on plans that I was just made aware of and I now realize Bishop was just made aware of struck a wrong chord with me. So I apologize for getting angry in haste. I just don't like the idea that plans were being made that I was unaware of, and changes to plans being made that I was unaware of.
Just keep in mind, Justinian, accepted. Just keep in mind that as a team, there's no dissension here. We are open books. Sometimes discussions are made amongst a couple of us, and while others are busy, and maybe we should spend more time coming together and then decompressing on what it is to make sure that we can go. But it's something that we can look at in the moving forward. But just have no fear, Justinian. You are a trusted comrade. Never
Hotel Wi-Fi, man.
planning
Yep.
process.
We're losing him. And he's gone. And just like that, Anaximander disappeared from the breakfast table.
Is it a puff of smoke? What color is the smoke?
So
Black.
we are all in agreement then. We are going to go get the book, return it, and go to Mechanus at the very least.
Yep, that's
And
perfectly fine with
drink
me.
That is where I am at.
Because that is less searching. It's still searching, but it's less like getting several pieces of something.
And
Hopefully,
that is
hopefully.
why I would like to put forward, since the whole group is sitting here. I spent much time reflecting after we got back from Parents' Folly. I would like for us to assemble all of the pieces of these items before we concentrate on reforging the sword. These other items, getting the books purified, getting an object that Bishop could possibly use right as soon as we get it in our hands, an item that you or Marslin or even you, Anax, could use right from the moment we get our hands on it. It makes us better in case Fane strikes first. I believe that the power of this group is stronger than just the power of a reassembled sword. I believe that we can defeat Fane whether or not we have a magic sword at our side. I believe that we're stronger together against him than we are with just a magic sword. So let us stick to the plan of the book and Mechanus, but I would like to revisit getting the other items before we worry about my sword. I will be the champion needed to assemble this sword, whether I get it tomorrow or I get it a month from now. But we as a team need to be powered up if Fane decides to strike early.
Well, that's a good point of view. Based on that point of view, it would go in this order roughly. Book, aka these are probably most likely for Marslin because books, and then the Gauntlets of Tranquility for Bishop, and then the Revenant Aegis for Anax. I could care less about the Cudgel of Virtue because let's face it, if it's not healing, I'm not going to use it most likely, and then it'd be your sword.
I agree. That is a good order to focus on these items. Is everyone agreed?
Agreed.
Okay, so with that, and hopefully all of contentions aside right now,
I have made my apology, Tank.
we can, and also I touched base on this so quick as I was going over everything else. No one has any reserves about hiring Jaina to be like primary captain on the ship when we're not
No.
there.
I believe we need someone who is a constant
And is
To be-
dedicated to the ship.
and yes, and
Okay,
has been a loyal friend.
so I believe, in Drasting, correct me if I'm wrong, would we need to, we don't need to, but wouldn't it make sense? The ship needs X amount of people, right? It's like 12.
Yeah, it's around that. Yeah.
Okay. I guess we don't need to not have one more person because we hired enough people so that Bishop, Justinian, Anax, and me didn't need to do anything while traveling. And then Marsden was flying, and then Justinian, Marsden, and me just rotated the flying, which I guess technically Anax could also rotate that too. So having Jaina be like primary captain, which I guess technically is not considered first mate. I don't know. Anax, I'm not a ship person.
You had it right.
Our-
First mate.
She's our Marslin's asleep captain.
I thought that's what I was. You and me were.
Right, but now we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we still kind of do. We want to basically fly 24. How many days are in a week? How many hours in a day?
24.
Yeah, but in this world, it might be
Yes,
36 for
it's
all we
still
know.
the same.
But yeah, So I believe from here, NX, we can move forward with getting Jaina hired. We obviously need to talk to the dock master about getting a hold of the 11 mates we had, so that way we can fly to the islands. Do we remember at all roughly how long it might be to fly there?
We might want to suggest sailors that do not have families.
Can we hire single people with no relatives?
Oh, I'm a single sailors. Oh, I'm a single sailors.
Just saying. That
It-
way we don't have people
Cheaper.
worrying about coming
But
back
you have
to
to
their
reimburse
families.
the family.
It'll take about probably 5 days to get there. They're pretty far away.
Okay, and then up till now, we only ever had 2 weeks of food on the ship, or something. A week.
You just restocked recently with like a month's worth of food or something.
Oh, do we have a month? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
What I was gonna get at is, depending on how much we normally handle, let's make sure to have double the amount of food, because we don't know how long we'll be on those islands. If it's gonna be 10 days of travel time.
Well,
wanna make
we
sure-
also have the ability, if we address somebody else as captain, that they could go restock while we're doing stuff.
Correct. The only
Or the
problem...
captain could bring her own crew and all that stuff.
Oh, that's true. We don't have to be. That's something I was about to talk to Jaina about. The only thing I'm worried about right now, Bishop, right, is we don't know the islands. A lot of people don't really know the islands. Where's the next like restocking spot that Jaina could go to while we're exploring the islands, right?
I'm just saying, in general.
Yeah. No. I feel like 90% of the time that would 100% be the way to go, right? It's just we don't know.
This
how is gonna
excursion, I
go.
understand, because we don't know exactly what island.
Yeah.
And when you go to talk to her, make sure that you can sense her connection to either the divine or the arcane. Otherwise, hiring her to be a captain of a ship she can't fly, we're out.
Yeah, and I get that. So that's something we can talk to her about when Anax and I, because I believe Anax wanted to go see her more than anything. He wanted to handle that, but
Okay.
I got no problem.
Annex, if you can just make sure that she's either an arcane or divine user, to make sure that she can handle the pilot's responsibilities.
I will take care of it.
So we aren't going today, Marslin.
I never said we were.
You just jumped the gun again, Justidian. Jump the sword?
Might have to talk to Bren sometime about this armor being less clanky. Is there anything that you all require of me while we're getting the ship around over the next 2 days?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I will be spending my days out in our greenhouse if anybody needs me.
I will
Okay.
be out helping with repairs to the outer wall. And I walk out.
Okay.
Well,
I'll
Anax,
be-
you...
Oh, go ahead.
I'll be at the, yeah, but you can guess what I'm going to say. The academy.
What? No. You're trying to make that next rank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bringing them haunted books is a great way to do that, by the way, Marslin.
I mean, honestly, why is it not? No one else has done it.
We've been bringing them cursed items all along, and it's been working.
Everyone just gives you a wide berth when you come in because they just assume you have something cursed.
I mean, you have a fair point there, Marsla. I'm pretty sure she has a collection of just cursed items from the people who don't know what extinguish is. But I'd say if everyone's good, we can all head out, and then Axe and I will go see Jaina.
if you guys do need me for anything, please just, well, you can send me a message and you can send me a message. And I reach in my mouth and I yank out a molar and I just hand it over to Annex. And I'm like, if you crush this, you can send me a message and I can reply back to you.
Put it
Do you
into,
ever- Go ahead.
I'll put it into my bag of holding.
Justinian, do you ever get tired of ripping out like a molar versus, like a front tooth that's just right here?
But then you guys wouldn't see this wonderful smile.
I mean, it grows back, does it not?
Yes, but 24 hours later, and what if I meet the love of my life and I'm toothless?
Guys, I want to find Fuendis' sword.
Don't make fun of my list, guys. I
You
did
guys
this for
suck.
you. I did this for you. Don't make fun.
All right, so for the sake of time, unless you guys want to RP this, we'll just process this stuff around.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so basically you can bring on Jaina free of charge. Her crew would be the same charge you're paying your current crew on there. She can facilitate the spots on the ship, and it's a crew she trusts, and they are very seaworthy. They know how their way around a ship itself.
Okay.
How powerful a caster is she?
Not great. When you ask her what her abilities is, she basically uses prestidigitation to like barely close a shutter somewhere, and she's like, "That's all I ever learned. I really hated school."
Oh, well, you're about as efficient as Marceline then.
So
He's like, I think that's all she needs to be able to do, right? And that's,
Right?
be
No, that's
good at
it. Yep, she's good.
she is technically classified as a spellcaster. So, all right. So with that, is there anything anyone else wanted to do with your 2 days in town? Bishop, you've repaired a good section of buildings and walls and things and helped people out. You've
Even
noticed
the DM is tired of our planning.
it's not that. But the one thing you notice, Bishop, is that people, when you first started helping, they were a little standoffish to you because of everything that happened.
Yep.
Over the last few days, they've really come to accept you. You have people slapping you on the back, making jokes with you. They believe that you are different than everything else that was going on. So that has changed. Marslin, you have studied extensively over the last couple days of the books and things, and you are mentally prepared for what you're heading into. Is there anything?
2
that
more
any of you
wisdom
want-
saves.
Actually, yeah, give me 2 more wisdom saves. Thank you, Bishop.
To remind me, Mike. What a jerk.
Hey, he did this to himself.
I feel
All
like
right.
saying he did it to himself's like saying we destroyed Smyrna. Like,
We did not.
All right.
But we did bring
Um,
the cause of it.
So is
Well,
there
true.
anything else that any of you want to do before you get on the ship?
yes.
Working with the acolytes.
Okay.
That's what I'll be doing after recruiting Jaina.
And then
You ha-
I would like, so the morning that we woke up, we had breakfast and we had our confrontation, and I apologize to Annex for blowing up. That night, I would like to go in, thank Bren for my new shield, and I would like to talk to Bishop for a minute.
Okay. Go ahead.
Bishop, I know you've been of even fewer words than when I first joined the group, and I don't expect a response now, but I want to let you know that without you giving me a little bit of temperance when I speak and telling me to slow down, I would not have been able to negotiate that book without you. And realizing while we were flying back from Perrin's Folly, or sailing back from Perrin's Folly, and Marsland making the split decision to teleport without talking to the group, you have fought what we are getting ready to fight. You've been in this war before. Annex has too. I trust your wisdom to see us through to the end. And I apologize if, when we have fought your brethren, I have not been as graceful and as tactful with your feelings in those moments as I should have been. I've seen what you can do tempered, and I've seen what they can do untempered, and I have to admit that your fellow people scare me. But you, I trust to get us through to Fane.
I just hope I can keep it up. Seeing what has happened to Perrin's Folly, it doesn't seem that what we are doing is changing a whole lot. We left an entire village to... Nobody has told me anything else that Marsland has said since you guys went to the academy, correct? None of that has been brought up?
No, none of it, because none of us talked to you except for this morning.
Okay.
Yep. And I wasn't part of those conversations either, so I don't know to say anything.
Thane knows who we are now. There is a name to the thing that has been disturbing him. The people of Perrin's Folly are under what seemed to be a spell. Those that were willing to talk to us were in fear. Then there was the people that just had plain hatred for us. Cirrus has caused more problems than if we had just taken care of it ourselves in the beginning. I felt that by us following the law, things would have been different. But it seems that corruption everywhere we go. For the longest time, that's all I had faith in. And it has failed.
When
Helping,
go ahead.
At least helping rebuild the city walls gave me a purpose. And it was more of a simple time as when I was just in Briar's Fork, farming, helping the town. I don't know how much I can hold myself back the farther we go forward And that is terrifying me. On top of that, whatever is happening inside of me, I have no understanding. I don't know what it means. And the one person who could tell me, I had to set free of their bonds. Though I am part of this group, I am still very much alone. I will go and I will help. But I am not how do I put it? Decisions are being made, and I can't trust myself with going with what the party always agrees to.
I just take a couple of steps closer to Bishop, and I reach out and I tap right in the center of his chest, and I go, you, along with this group, were the heroes that gave Governor Stenbeck his daughter. When no one would save your sister or Quentin's brother, you helped the Light on Sparkers find a cure. You didn't have the ticking clock in you that the rest of us did. And you still raced with us for the cure. You helped us get in past Striders and Drow and all sorts of darkness and evil to try to retrieve Oz. You saw the greater evil of the Drow over her servant. Trust yourself, Bishop. You are the hero that we need right now. As much as Quentin is a source of life and Annex for all his pompous war righteousness, and Marsland for all of his learnedness, for as long as I've been around, your wisdom is what the party leans on when times get hardest. If you doubt yourself, we won't survive to make sure that Thane does not rise. I trust you to get us where we need to be.
I will think on this.
Thank you for speaking with me. I appreciate it. And I just slowly walk out the room and give him and Bren their evening together.
Okay. Any other conversations over the 2 days?
Nope.
All right. The morning of the third day, you all get up, have a healthy breakfast, gather down at the docks. There you see Jaina's ship has been kind of moored over to the side away from the main docks. Her and her crew is standing there. Well, this is exciting. Our first adventure together. So, where are we headed first?
To parts
To the-
unknown.
Due to the internet connection, can we just say I gave them a very heroic, encouraging talk?
Rousing inspiration.
Yes.
They all have
Yep.
inspiration.
Boom.
Yes.
All right. Great. Mission accomplished.
They all board the ship, and Jaina follows Marsland into the ship's captain's chair there. So, Marsland, how does this thing work?
It is actually, I find it quite intuitive. It's hard to describe. I mostly just put the helm on and it comes to me.
It just comes to you? And she
Yes,
just sits down in the chair. Is this how?
It is a normal chair, yes.
So what do I do from here?
Does the helm like hang above the chair?
Yeah.
I always
Oh, yeah.
imagine that. Yeah. Just pull it down onto your head.
Kind of looks like a electric chair execution.
That's exactly what I picture.
Yep.
The lattice fuckers.
And you kind of put your hand on her shoulder as she pulls it down, and she says, "I don't see what the what's that? Why do I feel like I'm being poked with 1,000 needles?
It's a great feeling, isn't it?
No, this doesn't feel good at all." And you feel the ship kind of lurch to the side and hit the dock.
Easy now.
Whoa, this is strange.
You have captained a ship before.
Yes, I've captained a ship before. I can see everything.
Well, of course. What did you expect?
I can hear this is noisy. You got to kind of
learn
work to shut
tune
this
it out
out
eventually.
Yeah. Can you hang out here to kind of help me?
I suppose I could stay by your side for the first journey. Are there any other chairs in this room?
If you want there to be. I would say yes. I'm sure it's not just a empty torture chamber.
The entire time I've been imagining just a fully empty room apart from
Me
the
too.
captain's chair.
So if you want a chair in there, poof, there's a chair in there.
I thought it was still the captain's quarters too. On top of that,
No, it's just a navigation chamber. But yeah, there can be.
Yeah, I'll
another
pull
chair
up a
in
chair.
there. Okay. So you pull up a chair. You all feel the ship lurch from side to side as it raises in the air, and it just, with a quick boost, it just kind of shudders forward. And Marsland, all you hear is cool. And that's where we're going to end the session tonight. Those light unsparkers. I was just as confused as anyone else. We were definitely getting the Always Sunny kind of, we're going this way. And
I feel like it's not the first time I've been doing that.
no, I think it fit really good with like the whole situation, because there were like separate conversations going on with everything, and then when you finally bring it all together, it's like, well, yeah, of course. Why don't you understand? We're going here. We're going to park our ship here, and then we're going to go here and do this. Got it? And everybody's just blankly staring at you. Like,
we don't have time to dilly dally, and I'm like, we just made this plan right now. Like, what's dilly dally?
That kind of like, we don't have time. I'm like, I don't remember setting a timeline. I don't remember putting a rush on anything.
You kind of did when you're like, and this is the conversation between Pora and Marsden, where it was like, oh, he contacted you? Well, shit, his sales weakening.
Yeah, but there was no, even she said last week, she was like, there's still time.
Yeah, but that comment means there's a timer.
It is not a mission. It's not a Marin's Kiss timer.
T-minus unknown amount of time before he just breaks free and
Yeah. So off to parts unknown to anyone. Warned about from those that the only thing you've really heard is to don't go there.
Yeah,
So it's
I actually fully suspect us to want to just keep the ship like hovering high.
Hope you
It's
guys
going-
learned air assault.
it's going
Love
to
the
be
smell of napalm.
it's going to be a fun time. Oh goodness. Thanks for everybody coming out tonight. Thanks for the hype train early on. I actually forgot some things. Don't forget to check out Banter and Babble. Let me put their thing in the chat here. There's a brand new Let's Set the Tone with Half-Ass Beer Review on there. Don't forget to check out Half-Ass Beer Review. They're all together. With some hot takes on some things for sure, as it always is. Yeah, Half-Ass is on this thing. It's this bit about like Chicago style pizza is really tavern style, which is thin crust pizza and all this stuff, and it's better than the deep dish pizza.
Nothing's
Deep dish
better
is
than
just
deep dish.
right.
Yeah,
Deep dish is
nothing's
just
better
for
than deep dish.
tourists and all that stuff. And I'm like, no. I understand people in Chicago eating more like thin crust than deep dish all the time, because deep dish is like not something you eat every week. It's once a quarter or something, like, because it's a lot.
Right, it's like lasagna. You don't eat lasagna every week.
Right. But
Yeah, but how could you rate like deep dish over
we're losing
anything
him.
like round? Where?
Deep dish. There's so Julie's here from Truth Beer Podcast. Don't forget to check out them as well for some hilarious commentary. Got to meet up with Julia at Third Eye recently, just this last weekend, and had some hilarious conversations there. But said it's lasagna. Deep dish is not allowed. That's cracked up. Is all it's crocked up. New York is not better. No. I finally got to try that last year or the year before, and like, no, I'm not a thin crust person. Thin crust pizza reminds me of Totino's. Like, just roll it up and eat it like a hot dog, because like that's what it is. But I do like Chicago style. I will say though, Chicago was my like go-to favorite pizza style, but I am falling in love with Detroit style pizza, specifically Buddy's Pizza.
Real good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a whole different level. And I discovered Buddy's because of a grocery store chain here had a frozen version. Then I found out my office, it's in Michigan. There's a Buddy's location like right near the office. So I went and had the actual thing. I took my wife there, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is really good." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's great."
We used to go there all the time.
Really? The one at the mall?
Yep.
Yeah. My
12
God.
Oaks.
Yeah. God, that crust. Like, don't get it with a bunch of different toppings. Keep it simple. Pepperoni at most. But like,
Oh yeah, the seasoned crust. Oh, it's so good.
man.
Now I'm
Good stuff.
hungry.
I know. Deep dish is not all. Yeah, I've had them both too. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna get Julia in here on a one shot sometime. Tone is really pushing hard for it, so we'll get Tone and Dude and get all the craziness going for all this. But you are not gonna want to miss next week. I know what's coming. I'm super excited. This is gonna be great. So some really neat things. Trying out some new things. So next week is gonna be a lot of fun. Wednesday we'll be with you with something. I don't know what that something is gonna look like right now. Just so in for a one shot. Good. We're gonna get everybody in. And do that. That's a lot of fun. We just got to get it on the schedule. Wednesday we'll be with you with something. If we get a large enough group, we might do like repo or something again. If it's just me, I'll probably do like Expedition 33. Usually it's a group of us though doing something, unless something else comes up. And if one of the other guys, like if Mike's like, let's do Call of Duty or something like that, just let me know so I can install it. Takes me 3 days to install it beforehand.
Telling you.
Meanwhile, Carlson downloaded all of Skyrim 30 seconds after we started talking about it.
Well, yeah, it's only like a 3 megabyte game.
Pretty much. And I'm gonna
So-
go add 150 gigs of mods to it.
right. Yeah, so we've got that going on. There's some other exciting thing. So some of you might notice we left Harbinger Studios and Savage Crucibles tags up this week. We want to just thank them again for supplying us with an action figure giveaway for last week. And I think Jeff, you had something to say tonight as well.
So, guys, Savage Crucible, it is the last week to pre-order Frazetta's Death Dealer action figure from the Savage Crucible website. Now, the amazing thing about them is that figure retails for $80, but if you pay for it all up front now, it's only $60. Or if you put a $5 deposit down on one, it's only $70. So they give you an amazing discount whether you pay for it up front or you just put down a $5 deposit. But the second news was I might have held something back. So we got a second one of these Savage Crucible figures to give away. And since we know that not everybody can join us live every Monday night and we have a lot of people listening, we're going to come up with a plan and announce it next week for how we're going to give away in our Discord. So make sure that if you're not already a member of our Discord, you hop on, become a member, and look for that announcement in our general chat sometime in the next week.
Well, I think we're gonna put the opportunities out multiple places, right? We'll gather all the names from Facebook and whatever,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then we'll depending on how many we get, we'll roll a dice and pick somebody to win that. So yeah, and we'll announce the winner on a stream one night, and then in those respective channels as well. So that's exciting. Again, thank you, Harbinger Studios and Savage Crucible for these things. These figures are great. A lot of points of articulation. So
I get to tone his next Saturday, so it'll be exciting.
There you go. All right. You all got anything else?
Great session.
All right. Yeah. I love it when there's a session where I don't have to touch my notes at all. I did nothing tonight. That was all you guys. So that's great. It was good storytelling. So, all right. Thank you all for coming out with us. We always appreciate everybody stopping by. We're going to go out on Bishop's theme tonight. And until next time, we'll see you in the dungeon.
I did my time underground, waiting alone to be found. My eyes are never red in a piece I found. My whole world turned upside down. Step back from me or get knocked down. I'm the metal god with fists of steel. I try to speak and make the deal. On my morals I'll stand strong, but my patience won't last long. I stay as calm as I can, but I must bring peace to this evil land. With the spark as we bend our fate, my inner demons begin to sate. But my fist enchanted gleam begin to run when you see